Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. As we always do on Early Edition Day, we talk about what's coming the rest of this week, and then we're going to dive into next week. On Wednesday, September 3rd, Kyle, Abbott, and Audra are out jogging and run into each other, taunting each other and flinging insults. She's also insulting Claire Grace Newman, and Kyle says, "Keep her name out of your mouth." Audra claims Kyle is mad because he is hot for her, and he retorts that Audra is the one who wants him. We all know where arguing leads on soap operas. I think these two are going to be back in bed way too soon, but we'll see. Kyle mocks Audra, saying she's lost everything. Meanwhile, Kyle says Victor has changed his mind and is now on his and Claire's side, but Audra thinks he's lying. I also think Victor's lying. Jack, Abbott, and Kyle talk about his Audra showdown once his son is back at the Abbott mansion. Kyle is worried because Claire walked out on the proposal and has not been in touch. He really doesn't want to leave Claire alone and be patient because he's scared he's going to lose her. Kyle says if he can make Audra leave town, then Claire will see how dedicated he is. This is his next grand gesture. Billy Abbott talks to Jack on the phone and says Sally Spectra is killing it with AbbottCom, and the 50s-themed launch is going to be amazing. They end the call as Sally comes in and tells Billy she's excited but nervous. He shows her a newspaper mock-up, a fake newspaper he had made that talks about how successful Sally is. It also includes news on the society page that Billy adores Sally and wants her to move in with him. Now, she's not sure about this, but Billy is. He even tells Sally he had the newspaper printed up a couple of weeks ago, well before asking her to move in. She's also worried about how Billy's kids will feel about it, but he says they like her. Sally is also worried about working and living together, but Billy says that's going to be fine. So, she finally agrees to move in. Claire is with Holden Novak at the GCAC bar. They're doing their usual drink of Vespers, but then Claire wants shots. She wants to get drunk. She wants to cut loose. When Holden is like, "Slow down," she's like, "Don't babysit me." So, he knows something's wrong and asks Claire about it. She tells him about Audra and Victor's dirty plot against her and Kyle. Holden warns Claire that Audra is trouble. Claire asks about his and Audra's time in LA. She thinks Audra is going to pull more stunts, but Holden says just let karma finish her off. Claire tells Holden that he really doesn't know what she is capable of either, and that is true because she has a very dark past herself. Audra walks up on them talking at the bar and pounces like she's ready to dig in her claws. On Thursday, September 4th, we have Nikki Newman Melody, Thomas Scott, giving Victor Night of Romance to show him how much she loves him since he's the one who's always doing special things for her. Meanwhile, Claire goes off on Audra at the GCAC bar. Claire's a little tipsy already, and she's got some things to say to that woman. I do wonder if Audra is going to add some details to the situation of what happened in France that Kyle left out, like the fact that he was on the bed with Audra and on top of her, and mostly undressed with just a towel on. Audra did say if Claire knew everything, she might not forgive him, so she may tell everything. Michael Baldwin Christian Jules LeBlanc gets an interesting offer on Thursday, and I wonder if it is to work for the Winters Company. Or maybe Lauren Fenmore Tracy Bregman wants him to work at Fenmore's. Or maybe it's something a little more minor like officiating Danny Romalotti Michael Damian and Christine Williams Lauralee Bell upcoming wedding, which is supposed to be in October on Young and the Restless. On Friday, September 5th, Victor tells the family, "We are going to war." Now, if he announces that they are going to take down Jabbo, we know that Nick Newman Joshua Morrow's willing to do that. But I'm not so sure that Nikki and Adam Newman Mark Grossman will be on board. I doubt Claire will be unless she finds out Kyle was on top of Audra in that towel. But then again, maybe not, because she still likes Jack and Diane Jenkins Susan Walters. Also, Lily Winters Crystal Cowell tries to get the truth out of Kane Ashby Billy Flynn. Lily really wants to know his agenda. I wonder if she figures out something is going on at Winters. And she may suspect him of having a hand in, because that is his next target. Phyllis Summers Michelle Stafford goes too far and may once again mess things up for herself. She will not accept that Kane is backing down, and she doesn't have a job there. And she was grilling Amanda Sinclair, Miss Hale Morgan. But thankfully, she didn't give her a lot to go on. The week of September 8th through the 12th, Jack and Diane fear the worst for their son. Kyle is determined to prove himself to Claire by running Audra out of town. Kyle has zero chill and zero patience and isn't going to give Claire any space because he thinks if she has space, she's going to have second thoughts and will break up with him. This has Diane and Jack very worried because they don't like when Kyle is plotting, as he has a tendency to go dark. Audra and Claire's big argument could result in more tea being spilled, maybe some blood, because Claire really wanted to slap Audra's face. I'm sure Holden is going to be stuck in the middle trying to keep them away from attacking each other physically. Also, in the matter of Audra and Holden, he's got that info about what went down with Tucker McCall, Trevor St. John, and Audra in LA, that situation that Holden helped her out of. I'm wondering if he's going to spill those beans to help Claire take down Audra. I think it's all going to depend if she's saying nasty things to Holden during her fight with Audra. Then the gloves may come off. Michael gives an answer to the proposition that was presented to him. If you remember, Victor told Kane that he was going to release the info that Colin Atkinson Tristan Rogers had conned this woman and that she gave all her inheritance to him. Now, what Victor has is the will that shows that Colin inherited. That doesn't necessarily prove that Colin was running a scam. Plus, Colin's been dead for what, more than 6 months now. I don't think Kane's dad, who has been dead for a while, is going to be that big of a scandal that he inherited money from some woman. I mean, it kind of seems like the scandal would have died with him, and that was only seed money. You know, they made the rest of the money. Again, we'll see because Victor is continuing to pressure him. But Kane doesn't want to play ball with him. I'm also wondering exactly how Kane is planning to use AI against these companies. I also wonder if the Y&R writers know enough about AI to write a plot about it. Unless, of course, they asked AI to write the plot about AI, which would be pretty ironic. But it also seems like something mediocre that Josh Griffith would do. I also wonder if Tamara Braun's new character is going to tie into Kane's missing years outside of Genoa City. We're also going to see Phyllis doing damage control next week after her blunder. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.